going to get the right deal. Right deal for America, right deal, obviously, from my perspective, for Canada.
The U.S.-Canada-Mexico trade agreement is up for review next year. Jim Sperling, CGTN, Washington.
Well, staying in the U.S. now, where the government shutdown has entered its second week, leaving hundreds of thousands of federal workers forced to work without pay. Of the 3 million civilian federal employees, only around 15% live in the D.C. metro area. The other 85% are spread across the country. Economists warn that communities...
Federal job cuts under the Trump administration, some say they feel defeated.
Those of us who want to talk about it are kind of just tired and pissed off, and, you know, we're trying to keep our heads down and keep our jobs because we like doing our jobs.
We have a lot of things that we're going to eliminate.
The White House says more federal jobs could end up on the chopping block due to the shutdown. A threat, economist Dave Reich says, that adds to the anxiety.
I think if I was a federal worker, it'd be very different if I thought, well, this is going to go on for a couple of weeks, and then I go back to work just like normal, and I'm going to get paid for the time I was off, so not a big deal. But if you actually might lose your job, that's a real threat.
From tourism to dining, Reich says even those who keep their jobs, missing paychecks, could ripple through the economy.
You probably cut back on your expenditures a little bit, so you don't go to dinner as much, just to get through this period. Let's tighten our belt a little bit. And of course, what that means for the economy is less spending on everything.
As the U.S. government shutdown stretches to a second week, the cost to American workers and the economy will depend on just how long the standoff continues. Rosa Kazan, CGTN, Seattle.
Florida is no stranger to hurricanes, but this year the threat comes with a new complication. As the U.S. government shutdown drags on, critical federal agencies are operating under strain. Experts warn that it could leave communities exposed at the height of the hurricane season. CGTN's Lisa Soledad Perez reports from Miami Beach.
The scenes like these from last year's hurricane season are a stark reminder of Florida's vulnerability. Now a government shutdown is raising the risks, just as the region is in the midst of its most volatile weather window. With federal agencies strained and climate-driven storms intensifying, the timing couldn't be worse.
I'm very concerned about the shutdown. I've seen a lot of flooding while I was driving around, and that was scary enough. So yes, I am very concerned about a hurricane in general.
How do you feel about storm preparedness and the ability of the government to respond to a major emergency during this current government shutdown?
I do feel good about it. This current government seems to like Florida, so I know that they keep us in their hearts and in their minds. I've lived here for 8 years, and I've always had good response from the government.
I'm ashamed that the government so allowed.